So they brought me out here for the Smart Sled by BodyKore. Absolutely love this thing because it's such a multifunctional tool that all you need is a little bit of imagination in a field, and you don't even need a friend. You could do this all by yourself. So let me show you some of the things that I just made up right now. Before we even started rolling the camera, I'm like, hey, just roll the camera and I'm gonna play, because anyone who understands the human body and how we function, they'll see the application with the Smart Sled and how good it will help you become a more functioning human. So if you're an athlete, for example, let me get really specific. If you're a long snapper in the NFL, long snapper's job is to, as fast as possible, get that ball back there to the punter and then block the opponent trying to block the kick. So I'm a long snapper here. I'm going to, with all the force possible that I have, I'm going to snap and I'm going to block. And then this now mimics what it would be like against an actual human. So what you cannot do with a typical sled, there's some good products on the market, I'm not even going to lie, but none of them will give you the ability to do what I just did. And I could even shorten the distance here if I needed to. I don't need the long rope. I could make it shorter. Snap, hit, drive here. So if I want to drive the guy the other way, snap, hit, drive here. The other thing this will do is measure the force, measure my power. Let me say this. If I have two long snappers, one needs to get cut. Who do I want? The one that's the strongest, the one that's going to give me the best opportunity to get that punt off. We can measure against a man, but this is a world of data. We want to look at the data and analyze who is stronger, left to right, right to left, force being generated in a direction. So with this now, the data that's being collected on the proprietary app is showing me, boom, the force in which I am blocking that opponent, the force that I'm driving off of that leg. These are all things that are currently being built in to the technology that the Smart Sled is. I love this. I absolutely love it. And literally, none of this is scripted. None of this is, hey, Clark, we need you to say this. They trust me enough to play with this thing and tell you what I think about it. So here's what I'm gonna tell you a lot of what I think about this as I do different things. Let's back it down to the average consumer, the average person at home. This is probably more than most people are gonna wanna spend, just keeping it as real as possible. But if you're a trainer and you want a tool that is going to be multifunctional, a tool that could be scalable for an 80-year-old client or an 18-year-old client, an athlete or an everyday person, this, in my opinion, compared to a traditional sled, because this is really what we're talking about. We're comparing apples to apples, but this is not an apple in the bunch. This is an apple that somehow is green in a pile of red apples. It sticks out because it does so many different things. There are so many variables to this that are not possible with a traditional sled, that you're either using friction, sliding across the grass, or some wheels and you're loading plates in it, or you might be as fancy as having a lever where you pull it up and you get some additional friction on the tires. This is smart in the sense that the app can provide so many different modalities and so many different ways to use this device that if you just looked at it at the price alone, you couldn't really factor in all of its capabilities and justify that expense until you get it at home and start playing with it like I did.